Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today I'll talk about cardiovascular nursing part 2. So the first question, portion of heart which receive oxygenated blood. The option given first is left atrium, second right atrium, third left ventricle, and fourth is right ventricle. So as we know, the heart consists of 4 chambers: right atrium, right ventricle, and left ventricle. So the blood from the body which is collected through superior vena cava and inferior vena cava, they are emptied in right atrium. From right atrium, the deoxygenated blood goes to right ventricle, and from right ventricle, the blood goes to the lungs through pulmonary artery, and from lungs the blood gets oxygenated and it gets carried by pulmonary vein to left atrium. This is pulmonary vein, and so the left atrium receive the first oxygenated blood. So the correct option here is left atrium, the first one. So in this case, the question they may also be asked like oxygenated blood first enter in which chamber of the heart. They can ask in that way also. The question number 2, the oxygenated blood from the body via superior and inferior vena cava is received in, like I said in the previous questions, this is the heart. It contains 4 chamber: right atrium, right ventricle, and left ventricle. So the blood from the body which gets collected through superior and inferior vena cava, they are emptied in the right atrium. So the correct answer is right atrium. The blood which comes from the body, it's the oxygenated blood. So the third question, the only artery which carries the oxygenated blood. The first option is pulmonary artery, second option is pulmonary vein, third hepatic artery, or fourth is renal artery. First of all, we should know like the definition of artery. What is artery? Artery is the blood vessels which carries. Artery is blood vessels which carry blood from the heart to the periphery or to the other parts of the body. That's the definition of artery. From here, so like we know, the blood comes from all over the body and enters empty in right atrium. And from right atrium, the blood goes to right ventricle, and from right ventricle, it goes to lungs via pulmonary artery. So the blood which comes from the body, it's the oxygenated blood, it reaches right atrium, and from right atrium it goes to right ventricle. So from right ventricle it goes to the lung through pulmonary artery. So pulmonary artery is the only artery which carries the oxygenated blood. Why? Because by definition of artery, this pulmonary artery takes the blood from the heart to the lungs, which is the other parts of other organs of the body. The question number 4, tricuspid valve is located option first right atrium and right ventricle, second option left atrium and left ventricle, third option left ventricle and aorta, and fourth option left and right ventricle. So the question they ask about this tricuspid valve, where is it located? So as we know that this is right atrium, left atrium, right ventricle, and left ventricle. So as we know that the heart is divided into four chambers, and between these chambers there is valve. Okay, there is valve. So the purpose of this valve is to prevent backflow of the blood. So tricuspid valve presents between or located, it's between the right atrium and right ventricle. The correct option is option A. This one is called tricuspid. And the valve which located between left atrium and left ventricle is called mitral valve. Mitral valve or bicuspid. And the valve which is located between left ventricle and aorta, they are called semilunar valve. The question number 5, The natural pacemaker of the heart is first option AV node, second option SA node, third option Purkinje fiber, and fourth option bundle of his. So the correct answer to this question is SA node. I'll draw the heart again. Heart is composed of 4 chambers: right atrium, left atrium, right ventricle, left ventricle. So what is SA node? SA node is a specialized group of cardiac muscles. They are located at the entrance of superior vena cava. Suppose this is superior vena cava, and here will be SA node. So what is the function of SA node? It initiates or generates the electrical activity for heart to contract. Okay, for the electrical impulse will start from here and will pass through AV node and Purkinje fiber and bundle of his. Question number 6. One cardiac cycle completes in option 1 0.8 seconds, option 2 0.12 seconds, option 3 0.57 seconds, or option C 0.9 seconds. So the correct option here is 0.8 seconds. So what do we know about cardiac cycle? Cardiac cycle is the like one cardiac cycle. What is it? One cardiac cycle means one heartbeat. Okay, so it's divided into systole and diastole. So what does it mean? This one it's contraction. Systole means contraction and diastole means relaxation. So first the heart will contract and then it will relax. So the complete cycle of contraction and relaxation of the heart is called one cardiac cycle. So it takes about 0.8 seconds time. Question number 7. Electrocardiogram is option A, recording brain wave activity, option B, recording heart electrical activity, option C, recording peristalsis, option D, none of the above. So electrocardiogram is, in short, they call it ECG, or sometimes they wrote EKG also. So it is the recording of heart electrical activity. So the correct option is option B. And the test which is used to check or monitor the brainwave activity is called EEG. It's electroencephalogram. Question number 8. The P wave on ECG correspond to option 1 atrial depolarization, option B atrial repolarization, option C ventricular depolarization, option D ventricular repolarization. So the correct answer here is atrial depolarization. What is depolarization means? It's also, in other words, we can say it contraction. So if we see, this is the heart, right atrium, left atrium, right ventricle, left ventricle. So from here there is SA node at the entrance of superior vena cava. There is SA node, and from SA node the electrical activity or electrical impulse started, and from SA node all the electrical impulse will pass throughout the atrium, both in right or left atrium. And if we connected the ECG machines after the discharge or the initiation of electrical impulse, we can see in ECG there will be one wave coming out, and this wave is called P wave, and it represents contraction of atrium. And we can see in ECG this type of wave. This one P, Q, R, S, T wave. Question number 9. QRS complex occurs due to option A, atrial depolarization, option B, ventricular depolarization, option C, ventricular repolarization, option D, conduction through AV nodes. So we see here it's the ECG. Imagine this is ECG, this one is P wave, Q, R, S, or T. So the question asks here, this QRS complex is occurs due to what? So as we see in the heart, this is right atrium, left atrium, right ventricle, left ventricle. This is SA node. As I said, SA node will initiate the or generates the electrical activity, it will spread throughout the atria and will cause the atria to contract, and during the contraction of atria it will generate P wave on ECG paper, and this electrical activity will reach AV node, and in AV node is another specialized cardiac cells or cardiac muscles, and but in AV nodes the conduction system is little bit slow, so we will get this is P wave, and we will see little bit of delay here between P wave and Q wave. This is Q wave, so little bit of delay, it's because the electrical activity, the electricity or electrical impulse pass little bit slow in AV node. So after the impulse pass through AV nodes, it will pass throh Purkinje fiber or bundle of his, and it will reach throughout the ventricle, and that leads to contraction or depolarization of ventricles. During the ventricular depolarization, it will generate this QRS complex. QRS complex occurs due to ventricular depolarization. So the correct answer is option B. And what does ventricular repolarization means? Ventricular polarization, it means the relaxation of the ventricles, and during the relaxation of ventricles, T wave was formed on ECG paper. Question number 10. The T wave represent option A, ventricular depolarization, option B, atrial depolarization, option C, atrial repolarization, option D, ventricular repolarization. As I have said in question number 9, this is the ECG. This one is P wave, Q, R, S, T. As I have said in question number 9, T wave represents ventricular repolarization or ventricular relaxation. Thank you everyone. Thank you for watching. If you like our videos, you can subscribe to our channels and you can press the bell button so that you'll get the updates every time we upload the videos. Thank you.